barely escaped something I can't define. I was 6, I guess. My family at the time was pretty big, and everybody loved each other, or at least pretended to. I remember how exciting it was to go to my relatives' houses and have all these people giving you candies and hugs. After one evening in 1996, I stopped loving hugs. It was a birthday of my grandma's sister. Our big family gathered to celebrate her 70th birthday. There were a lot of people I didn't know, except one thing, they were somehow related to me. You know that point when adults get drunk and they just send their kids away with an elder cousin? In the moment I was the youngest, so I obviously needed to be cared of. My cousin, I actually don't know how close we are, but she's a granddaughter of my grandma's sister, volunteered to sit with me. I remember white walls in the hall and then just a small room with yellow dimming lights. She closed the door and led me to the table. Then she gave me something I could draw on, and then sat behind me and started to stare at me. She stared and told me strange things like I was a good girl, but I needed to be a boy and I needed to help her. How was I supposed to help her? I didn't get it. I felt awful. These creepy feelings of being watched grew bigger. I couldn't draw. I remember sounds of a distant chatter, but it seems to be miles away. Suddenly she stood up and I felt her cold hands sliding on my shoulders, on my back, hugging me. At some point she started to choke me, and it was the moment when the hell broke loose. I froze and then jumped off the chair and ran to the door. I banged, cried, screamed, tried to get rid of her. I felt her smell and her invasive presence. She pulled me by the hair, trying to shut me up with her hand, but I continued to cry. Finally, she decided that someone would notice and let me out. What happened next, I don't recall. My mind has been pushing back for some time. When I turned 16, I suddenly clearly recalled all these events. It explained a lot about my behaviour and why I've been freaking out every time I meet my cousin. Now she's married with a kid. I still don't know what it was, and I haven't seen her for 10 years. And honestly, let's not meet again, ever.